Hello, my friends. Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa Stringworks Man Cave. And yes, we did have our Mountain View time. And yes, it did go over really nice. It was really good. Bruce Robinson from down in Mississippi, Oxford, Mississippi, joined me there. And of course, several of the regulars that you see here on the channel joined me there. And it was a good time had by all. And Bruce said it was his best one, favorite one that he's ever been down there. And I thought it was really good. I did. We had, intermittent rain pretty much the whole time. But, and why we've never used this particular facility before, I don't know. But where I stay at the Knotty Squirrel, Knotty Squirrel, they have a just a big overhang. It's almost like a pavilion, but it's on the front of a building. But it's a real big overhang. It's maybe 15 by 24, maybe a little bigger than that, maybe 18 by 24. And it's so it's out of the weather. It's got a concrete floor. And it's open, to the air. So even when it's raining, we can play under there. And so a lot of our jamming was done under there this time, which was just different. We've never done that before. And I've been down there for years and years, never did use that particular spot, but we used it at least 3 times this time. I'll get into that and show you some pictures and some video from that here in just a minute. But first, I'm going to really try not to let this be too much of a rant, but I have a little bit of a rant for you. You see this thing here? Well, you notice I don't typically wear jewelry at all, like never. Well, I wore this thing from Wednesday, which is the day before we went down there. So Wednesday afternoon, this came in the mail. And if you look at it, you can see the magnets in there, and it's copper. I wore this from Wednesday afternoon through Saturday evening. I'm not going to say who encouraged me to wear it, but someone, encouraged me very strongly to wear this. They had worn one at a jam, at a festival, and they wore it the whole weekend, and they said their hand didn't hurt, Well, if you believe in these kinds of things, I say fine. And if it helps you, I say fine. But I do not and cannot and will not believe in these things. To me, it's smoke and mirrors, it's hocus pocus, and it's all placebo. To me, that's just me, myself, and I can be stubborn. But I really did try to give it a fair shot. And, I got no reason to wish it doesn't work. I wished it would work. I really did. But this hand, which I wore it on the whole time, felt just as bad as this hand the whole time. It's magnetic, and in case you don't get it, it definitely is magnetic. And, it's, copper and that whole bit. It's very nice. And they sell them for about $20, and they sell millions of them, and they're filthy rich. Now, about these things here, what I don't get. Now, if you could try to open your mind here and listen to this for a second, maybe it'll make sense to you the way I think about it. Okay. As far as I know, you'll hear this or that, but as far as I know, nobody really has explained why this works, if it works. They don't say, well, this is the reason that it works, and it works every time because it does this and it does that. There's a lot of supposing, and there's a lot of, they just make up stuff for the most part. But just think about it. Since nobody really, really, really knows why this is doing good, how do you know and I'm being serious, this is not a hypothetical stupid question. I'm being serious. How do you know that it's not literally just ripping your DNA apart, like ripping holes through your DNA? I mean, like, why is it that it just has to do good? I mean, it's just magnets and copper. Why? Who says it has to be doing good? How do you know it's not doing harm? I know nobody would wear something like this thinking in their mind that it's going to do them harm. I get that. So the placebo effect works and it does good. I felt zero, nothing, not anything except the aggravation of that thing hanging on my arm. Other than that, I felt nothing. Sorry. If that offends you, if that makes you mad, I'm sorry. I'm just telling you my opinion. Everybody's got an opinion, and if your opinion's different, and I mean this with all sincerity, if this helps you, I'm all for it. I'm seriously telling you, I'm all for it. I'm not against it if you do feel it helps you. I'm totally for it, 100% for it. I'm not just saying that to sound patronizing or anything. I'm totally for it. But for this guy, not so much. Not so much at all. So basically, unless somebody really wants this, and I'll send it to you if you do, I'm going to put this in the recycle bin. Some kind of bin anyway. The that's just me. Sorry. Projects. I have more projects than Carter has those little tiny liver pills. Unbelievable number of projects. I've got the excavator completely tore apart. I mean, it's like in pieces. I've got the Great Dane lawnmower semi tore apart, and it's got to go much further apart. I started the excavator first. Well, then the lawnmower acted up and said, no, I'm not going to, you need to fix this. So I've got it tore apart. Well, now the lawnmower takes precedence. So I've got the excavator just sitting around. I need to get to the lawnmower. But the problem with the lawnmower is that I'm waiting on parts. While I was down in Mtn View, it said that like the 2 drive motors came in. Well, guess what? Only one of the drive motors came, even though I ordered both of them on the same order at the same time. So I got 1 drive motor, and I'm waiting on the 2 pumps, also the hydraulic pumps. So I can't do much on the lawnmower. And you would think, well, then you should work on the excavator. Well, the problem with that is I need to monopolize the shop for either project or the other, and the excavator is going to take a long time. It's not a 5-minute job. So I'm just waiting, kind of in between projects. So, and in case you haven't noticed, I've got other projects. I've got all the auction guitars. I still have to go pick up another whole truckload of those things for Richard Brown's estate and pick all that up. I can't even get through the paperwork on it yet. And we've got company again. My grandsons are back here again from Ohio, and they're loving it. They're getting to stay longer this time, and they're absolutely loving it. The water wheel house, I need to make more shingles. I need to put the roof on it. And the last thing that I needed, and I'm sincerely telling you, the last thing I needed was another big project. But guess what? I got one anyway. At least this is one you guys like to see. Nice old guitar. It's a I can't remember now if it's a double O or triple O. I can't remember. I can't see in there either. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's a 0018 Martin, 1941 or 2. Now I've got that confused. I think it's I don't know. I don't remember. It's either a 41 or a 42. I should remember. But anyway, it's a very nice guitar. It has a lot of TLC issues. It's got, somebody repaired this and didn't do a very good job. This part here is sort of been repaired also. But neither one of those things are what I have it here for. What I have it here for is a neck reset. It needs a neck reset pretty desperately. It's you could almost see it in the camera. The neck almost goes like that. It's not that bad, but it goes pretty far. And they've cut the saddle way down, as you can see. It's down almost smooth, and they've cut the bridge way down, and they've even cut a groove through the bridge so that the strings could even go lower to angle over the saddle. It's really bad. It needs... So why did I accept this? Since I'm only accepting instruments if you stay at my rental retreat. And why did I accept it if it's not from one of my, close friends or music buddies that are right around town here? Well, I accepted it for 2 reasons. Number one, it was Bert Pichon's recent birthday. He had celebrated his birthday. He's 90 years old just before we got down there. Bert's a longtime viewer of the channel, and he is also one of those, if you want to call it a victim of my stupidity the last time I was in Mtn View and I left. He came down there for the most part just to be there to see us play. And I got aggravated and left, not thinking about all of that and not thinking about the consequences. I was not thinking about the people that were there. I was just thinking about my dumb self, and was just aggravated because the musicianship was so poor down there that weekend. I just left. Well, halfway home, I got to thinking about, man, I just ran out on everybody. I didn't think about that part. That was really stupid. Well, anyway, so I felt really guilty about that. Well, Bert brought this down there to just have somebody look at it. He didn't bring it down there for me to take it, I don't think. Well, that might have been in the back of his mind. But anyway, he brought it down there to show a few people and to see what it needed. Like he wanted me to look at it just to see what it needed. Well, I looked at it and I said, well, it really needs a neck reset. I mean, I'm the last guy to do a neck reset if it don't need it. Trust me. When I say it needs a neck reset, you can pretty much bet it needs a neck reset. Because I'm always finding a different way to skin the cat if I can. But this one's already been skinned a few times. Ain't no skin left on it. So anyway, just for all those reasons, the fact that he had just celebrated his 90th birthday, also the fact that he has found a new cancer treatment that's working really well for him, and it's the best he's ever felt in years. And the fact that he's a longtime viewer and just a good guy, and he comes all that way from Louisiana to see us down there. I said, Bert, would you like for me to take this home and I'll fix that for you? And he was excited. He was tickled. So, Bert, I hope you will enjoy seeing the video of me fixing this thing before too long. Though I've already told him I can't make it a super priority. I got so many irons in the fire that I don't know exactly when I'll get to it, but I will get to it, as you guys know. Anyway, so that's that. Now, speaking of projects, you would think, well, that ought to be enough. You ought to just stop about right there, wouldn't you? Well, no. I took on another one this morning. I don't really want to say what it is, because this project I took on this morning, it's not a real big project. It's only a 1-day project, or maybe a day and a quarter or something, a day and a couple hours. I've already got 50% of it done, I would say, maybe a little more than 50%. But I don't want to say what it is because, number one, I'm going to put it out on a video, but number two, it might be my 49th wedding anniversary anniversary present to my wife. Anyway, that might happen, and that's the 49th wedding anniversary is June 26th, the night we play live here on the channel. That always goes over like a lead balloon. Anyway, we'll be playing Thursday night, the 26th here, and that will be my 49th wedding anniversary. Just coincidentally, that's also the night of the next equipment auction that I wanted to take part in. Anyway, let's see. So, anyway, I have that project going as we speak as well, the unknown project. Let's see. What else? And I'm also a doctor. I've decided that today, I've told you before, I couldn't be a doctor because if I was a doctor, I'd have to look at blood and stuff like that, and that really bothers me. It don't bother me on me. It bothers me when it's on you, and that's why I'm not a doctor. But today I was a doctor. Trinian, wait till you hear this. You're gonna cringe when I tell you this. He had a little accident, and it's not a big deal, but it feels like a big deal when you hear it. He got a splinter. Now you think, well, a splinter, that ain't nothing. Well, it ain't normally, except for the fact that this one was 1/4 inch long. That's about 6 millimeters for you millimeter land people. So it's about 6 millimeters long, and it went directly under his thumbnail where you could see it through the nail. And it was embedded all the way. And that was, you could tell, he was being real brave. He was saying it was really hurting, but he wasn't crying or nothing. He was having a fit. And then, as I had to cut back part of his nail, quite a bit back to get to it, because it was way back under the nail. It broke off back in there. So ain't no easy, good way to get to that. So fortunately, I had a very, very, very needle nose pair of tweezers, real good steel tweezers, very sharp needle nose, so I could get in on both sides of it. But I had to cut a lot of his nail back first, so I had to clip that way back. And of course, that was bringing tears to his eyes too. He shed 2 or 3 tears. He didn't say nothing or cry or nothing, but you could see his eyes watering, and I know it hurt. It had to hurt. I'm sure those of you who've ever had a splinter under your fingernail, you kind of know that hurts pretty bad, especially one that's 1/4 inch long. This sucker was every bit of 1/4 inch long. When I pulled it out, I said, "Hey, Trin, you want to save that? We can make an arrow out of that later." He wasn't having it. No, thank you. I don't want it. But it was, just call me Doc Rosa from now on. Anyways, the jamming in Mountain View, so let's get to that. And first of all, here's the group photo. This was taken Saturday night, right after the last thing we played. That fellow on the far left there, he's actually got his hand on the neck of the bass. That's Bert Pichon. And I hope I'm saying your last name right, Bert, because you know me and names. I can't even say my own name correctly. And then there, of course, there's Don Davis there to, going from left to right. And there's me, and then there's Gary Haven, and then Bruce Robinson, and then Bill Pilliard. So there you go. That was right after we finished jamming Saturday night. And here is a little bit of a jamming collage video that I threw together. Here it goes.
1,000 times, I know, and 1,000 times I should have let you go. But I'll always beg you back somehow. If I'd left it hold to you, it would all be over now. It would all be over now, except the crying. I'd be used to spending all my nights alone. But somehow I'd beg you back somehow. If I'd left it all to you, it would all be over now.
My transit radio comes from far away, and when it's night over here, over there, breaking day, I remember all the good times I had walking in the sand with the beautiful girl that I met me in Japan. The beauty of her face was beyond my wildest dreams, like some cherry blossoms blooming in the mountains in the early spring. As we walked by the river and she softly took me by the hand, that's when I fell deep in love with the girl made in Japan. my heart will always be with the girl there in Japan. It was so good. Good job, bro.
Yeah.
Smoky Mountain memories about my home in Tennessee. Yesterday keeps calling me home. Mountains rising in my soul, higher than the dreams I hold. Empty eyes they cling to me in my Smoky Mountain Gray man with a dog, asleep at his feet, plays a worn-out fiddle full of melody. He smiles with his eyes, but the lines on his face told me as much as the music plays. Smoky Mountain memories, pretty girl in Tennessee. I was such a fool to be, meet her all alone. I think about her in my dreams, wonder if she thinks of me. I always hold her close to me in my Smoky Mountain
And you notice that most of that was all filmed during the day when, it's a little less active during the day and fewer people, etc. So it may look like there's not much going on, but in the evenings it gets to be a little more lively. There's a number of more people around and, stuff like that. So we jam till about 10 o'clock at night, pretty much every night. I think it was Friday, that I jammed for at least 9 hours that day. It gets, you'd think, well, how do you do that with your hands? Well, I was wearing this bracelet, man. That's the only way I could do it. No, I just used that vibrator on my hand a lot during the week while we were there, and it relaxes the throbbing pain. It doesn't fix it, but it does give it a little bit of relaxation, so it does help that way. Anyway, when I got back, well, I left there at 4:30 Sunday morning, got back here at about 7:45 Sunday morning, and jumped right into working on another project. And I'm not making it up, it's the truth. I knew the go-kart needed some stuff, and the boys like to drive the go-kart while they're here, so we put new front tires on the go-kart. That includes taking the old tires off of the old wheels and putting the new tires on those old wheels. And then remounting that, of course, getting that to take air and all that. If you know anything about tubeless tires, how much fun that is to get them to take air and all that. And then I adjusted the brakes on the go-kart. I mean, it's probably a good idea if boys have brakes on their go-kart. And then I attempted to fix the leaky carburetor on that go-kart, though I didn't have the proper gaskets. Trinian and I made a gasket on the laser cutter. The original gasket was a rubber type, O-ring type gasket, but it had gotten hard, cracked, and broke. So we just made it out of regular gasket material, put it on there. It slowed it down. It didn't fix it. So I think I'm just going to take that back apart. It's pretty easy to get that part apart. And I think I'll just put some RTV, or red RTV on there in addition to the gasket. And I think that'll probably be good enough. Anyway, that's what my plan is for now. I would just buy the darn gasket if I could find it that I knew. For instance, on the same engine, I tried to buy an air filter for it. All the specs sounded like it was the right air filter, but when I got it, it doesn't fit at all. Doesn't even get close. So I'm afraid that'll happen on that carburetor too. I couldn't find one that really matched on the carburetor, on the gasket anyway. So that's why I think I'll just try to solve the problem with the RTV stuff. Let's go to the comments and see what's going on here. David Tharp says, howdy, everyone. We missed you. Yeah, well, thank you. I miss kind of doing it, too, myself. I wish there was a good way to do it down there, but I can't think of a way. It just doesn't make sense. He says, I always see more people walking into Walmart than come out, but the meat is cheap, so I don't ask questions. Yuck. Okay. Let's see. Looking for question marks. Dottie says she's praying for us. Thank you, Dottie, very much. And she's praying for the country. Yep, that's definitely needed there. Prayers for Israel. And you saw how they're really on to Iran, man. Now, just keep in mind that Itchy Boots just went through Iran. It's just the pictures just don't seem to match. Well, it's not the people, I don't think. And the same way with like Russia and probably North Korea too. I don't think it's got anything to do with the people. It's these scumbag leaders they have. That's where the problems are. And we're talking scumbag. And then did you see Itchy Boots? She's got her new book out, and she put out a video. She had a new motorcycle. She didn't go into that in great detail, so I don't know if she bought that. I guess she did. Sounds like it. And is she going to take that now and finish her trip to Japan with that motorcycle? If she said that in the video, I didn't catch it. So if anybody knows, you can put that in the comments. But anyway, she basically got another Yamaha, but it's a brand new one, looks like. Ronald Todd says, good afternoon from the West Bank of New Jersey. And let's see, moving on down. Let's see. David says, I once lived just a stone's throw away from a family who all died of mysterious head injuries. You're a sick pup. Let's see. Bill Rose says, good afternoon. Daddy, hope all the fathers had a wonderful Father's Day. Yeah, it went just fine for me. I just fixed a go-kart. Let's see. Gino Hitch. Hi, Jerry and friends. Another beautiful day in Monroe, Ohio. Finally mowed grass yesterday. How was your weekend? Finally mowed grass. Sue's mowed grass here 5 or 6 times already. Let's see. Dottie says, Gino, how's the eye doing? Let's see. Bill Webb's got, good afternoon, Jerry and friends. I finally got my new workbench finished and moved into the shop. Wish me luck. Well, good luck. Hope it all works out for you. Gino says, go back tomorrow for a weekly check, but my eyes are amazingly good. Thanks for asking. Good luck with your trip. Well, Gino, I'm happy for you, man. That's nothing better than to get those eyes fixed up, that's for sure. Okay, after we went live, let's see. Rod Wentler says, hi, Jerry and gang. I am so glad that Mountain View redeemed itself. Yeah, it sure did. Bruce Ducker was the first one in there, and he said, greetings from the muggy Florida area there. Let's see. Moving on down. Again, looking just mostly for question marks. My daughter in David Thar says, my daughter in Florida sent me a nice fret wire bender for Father's Day. Now I don't have to use my dysfunctional homemade one. Well, my homemade one works really good. I really like mine. Let's see. Bill Rhodes. Jerry, I would love to try that bracelet. Okay. Send me an email with your address and I'll send it to you. Let's see. Zacharack 55. The body has its own magnetic electric field, and I agree, unless you are measuring it or sensing it, how do you know? Yeah, well, again, I really do mean that without being a smart aleck. I'm seriously asking. It's not a rhetorical question. I'm saying, how do you know that magnets do good? Nobody's been able to prove that one way or the other. How do you know? I mean, just as easily as they could be doing good, and they could be. I'm no expert. I'm not the last word on this. It could be doing good, but how do you know it's not just ripping holes in your DNA? I mean, literally. You just don't know. Bill Rhodes, and if it doesn't work, I'll send it back to you. You don't have to send it back, because I'm just going to file it in file 13 if you do. Bill Mumbo, Jerry, I'm a retired electrician, and I'm allergic to copper. My body chemistry reacts with it. My hands work hardened, but my arms break out in a rash where copper touches. Yeah, I do not disbelieve that at all. I mean, different metals react to different people in way different ways. For instance, one of the best strings for me to use, if I want to use strings that last forever, for me personally, nickel. They don't ever tarnish. They don't ever go bad. They just are perfect for me. Now, they don't sound that great, but they're good strings in terms of lasting. And phosphor bronze, I have to say, lasts a very long time for me also. Regular bronze does not at all. I can't even use them a day or two. But phosphor bronze works really good. This didn't seem to have any reaction to me at all. But if you happen to notice in that one video clip that I was in the clip, that last song, I was wearing this on my arm. I wore it the whole time. I didn't even take it off. I wore it the whole time. There you go. Moving on. Let's see. The bracelets only work for people that have a magnetic personality. Well, I have a magnetic personality. It's just that my poles are opposite of this one. So it kind of repelled. Bruce Ducker. Ouch, Trinian. I feel you. I feel for you, bud. Been there, done that. Yeah, if you've ever had a splinter go up underneath your finger, did you? I mean, I'm sure 99% of you know that was used as real torture. I think even in Vietnam, where they would drive bamboo splints back up under their fingernails for torture. Whew, that would hurt a lot. That would hurt a lot. So he was in some pretty good. There's a lot of nerves right there. He was in. I barely could get a hold of it. I'm serious. I tried a bunch of times. I could not get a hold of it. And, I was trying not to just jab it in there to get it, but I finally just cut enough of that nail back where I could finally get it. And it came out easy enough once I got a hold of it, but getting a hold of it was the hard part because it was way inside his nail. It wasn't just right out at the outer edge. If it had been out the outer edge, it would have been just grab it and pull it out. It wasn't like that. Let's see. Scott Roberts says, does Sue even watch your videos? I don't think my wife of 50 years ever listened to my whole radio show. Yeah, well, I'm the exact same way there, bud. She does occasionally. Whenever she just gets in the right mood, she'll listen to one or two. And I think somebody even mentioned later that if I mentioned what that was, he for sure would be listening. And there's no doubt that that's true. 100% true. That's not a 99%er. That's 100%er. Guarantee you. Guarantee you. Let's see. It's just the way it works. Sky Roberts. Jerry, you did good on remembering all the names. Well, you did hear me stutter, though. I can just look at them, and the name just goes away. It's just weird how that happens. But I recovered at least on that one. But I did get it. Scott Roberts, I really like the guy in the bright pink shirt singing and playing guitar in the video. Well, I'm going to assume that since you called it a bright pink shirt, that I don't know who it was. Now, I don't know what you were getting at there, but I'll just consider that one of those jabs at me for being colorblind. That's what I'm going to consider that. Dottie Hildebrandt, Trinian, what a brave young man, no crying. Yeah, he didn't cry, but he did have a tear or two roll down the cheeks there because I know that was hurting. There's no doubt about it. Simon says, I called my wife and told her I needed to wash my favorite T-shirt. She said, put it in the washing machine. I said, what settings? And she said, well, what does it say on the T-shirt? And I said, AC/DC. The only reason I could read that one smoothly is because I read it during the video that was playing. I already knew what that one said. All the rest of them, I got to read them to understand I got to read each word on the rest of them. Sidecar Bob, Sue has posted in the comments, so we know she watches at least occasionally. If you told us what the project is, that would guarantee she'd be watching. Yep. Yeah, I did see that comment too. There's Gary Boer. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Glad to see you here. Jeff Puris. I'm reading Itchy Boots' book now. It answers a lot of questions about her life and travels. Good reading. Well, it's on the every time I want to say this, I get it messed up. It's the something New York Times bestseller list or something. It's on a bestseller list. I think it's New York Times, I think. And it's also, I think, on the bestseller list in the UK. So it's doing well. Well, she's got a couple of million subscribers, so you would expect it to do pretty well. You kind of got an embedded base already. Ronald Todd, and I would buy it for sure. Sue told me, she says, you should buy that because you like her so much, you should buy her book. And I go, well, except that I'm just not very good at reading. That's the only reason. Ronald Todd, Itchy Boots is having a great time with her book. The Yamaha she has is a 2025 loaner. Okay, it's a loaner. I kind of got the impression she bought it, but okay, makes sense. That makes more sense that it was a loaner. Bill Mumbo, Itchy Boots in London, Yamaha, lent to her. She's putting signed books all over. Yeah, she was going around signing a book here and signing a book there. I thought that was pretty cool. Moving down, let's see, the spoken song. My eye doctor asked me, have your eyes ever been checked? I said, no. They've been brown most of my life. I can go with that one too. See, mine are brown. At least that's what they tell me. Let's see. Wavy Gravy. I told my wife that men are like wine. They only improve with age. So she locked me in the cellar. Don't tell my wife that. So we don't even have a cellar. So, but I don't know. She'd find something. Let's see. Ronald Todd, so glad Mountain View worked out this year, as I know how disappointed you were last year. Yeah, it was pretty bad last year. And in case you didn't hear me rant about that last year, I mean, I'm not exaggerating. I was playing the simplest songs I know, just simple 3-chord, 1-4-5 type songs. And at one point, I looked up on Blue Ridge Mountain Home, which is the simplest song I do know in 3 chords. It just goes in a circle, G, C, D, G, C, D, G, C, D, and it never changes through the whole song. I looked up at one point, and there were 3 people backing me up, and all 3 of them were in a different chord. And that is when I stood up and said, guys, I'm not feeling good. I got to go home. The real reason, of course, was that I just stopped the song in the middle of the song and just left. I couldn't take it no more. I mean, that was pitiful. Let's see. Paul Lanier says, tell Sue if she wants to be an instant wealthy woman, bring 10 or 12 lawnmowers to BR, Louisiana, and cut grass all day long. Don't tempt her. Trust me. Paul Akers, have you used lacquer as a small repair on an old Martin with shellac finish? Probably, but if I knew it had shellac, I would use shellac. I probably have done it, though, just because I've done so much in that many years. But, yeah, I tell you, for touch-up, shellac isn't a bad choice regardless, except for the fact that you either need to get the clear shellac or, the amber shellac is about as far as I know, it's the only 2 choices. They probably have more than that, but that's all I'm aware of is the clear and the amber. The amber is a real good match a lot of times for the old finishes that have yellowed a lot. For instance, here's a good example. I mean, like this top, the amber shellac would make a good match for that. So, anyway. Bill Webb, I spent yesterday evening pulling the commode up so we could get Poot's toy horse. He flushed it and stopped up the toilet. Oh my goodness, that's always fun. That part there is just a laugh a minute right there. I've never done that before. No more than about 50 times. We've got 11 full working bathrooms here on the farm. And guess who put every single one of them in? And who has revisited a few of them over the last 25 years also. Let's see. Bill Mumbo, strangely, phosphor bronze strings are fine, but I can't touch my face without washing my hands. Rashes again. Wow. Bill Webb, my grandson's name is Cooper, but I call him Poot. Luke Varvel. Luke Varvel. I don't recall seeing that name. I might have, though. I can't remember. First time. Oh, it says first time chatting. See, again, I can't read ahead. I got to read it as I get to it. Love what you do, Jerry. We could all use a lot more men like Doc Rosa. Keep up the great work. would your wife ever consider doing a show with you one day? I would say that would be a big old negatory. If we were back in the CB days, negatory, a rubber duck. I don't think that'll ever happen. She's mic shy, camera shy, and just all around, just leave me alone shy. I don't think that'll ever happen. Scott Roberts, is Gary Boer related to Oregon Boer Fiddlin family? Well, that I don't know, but I do know Gary Boer has, or did have, I think he's retired, I'm not sure, had a great family band, or a great band, period. Whether you called it a family band or not, I'm not 100% sure of that. But it was a great band. I gave out he sent me a bunch of his CDs. I gave them all out except a couple, and everybody loved it. Everybody just talked about how good it was. GNP Old Marine Shop. Hi, Jerry. Would you write a book someday? Title it, It Ain't Easy Being Me. Boy, I should. I really, really should write a book. I really should. It's just finding the time to sit down and just do it. That's the problem. Bill Mumbo. Jerry, get the audio book. Yeah, that's an idea. That is an idea. BH Ringer, good afternoon, everyone from Nova Scotia, Canada. Cool. Well, guys, I think I'm going to let that be it. Good to talk to you today. 141 viewers at the moment. And just to confirm, Mountain View was a success this time. Had a good time overall. I don't know that I'd say it was the best one we ever had down there, but it was good. It was good. Quality time was had by all, I think. Good food too, there's good places to eat down there and stuff. And while I was still on my diet, I let go a little bit while I was down there. I didn't go crazy because I didn't want to have to undo what I've been working so hard on. And I'm back on my strict diet again as of today. And anyway, we will see you tomorrow with something else. I saw one more pop up there. Let me grab that real quick. Confucius said, man who stand on toilet is high on pot. I never thought about it like that. I guess that's true. Sidecar Bob, when our Matt was about 3 or 4, he flushed a toy. I could have put the old toilet back, but it was so old, I figured it made more sense to just replace it with a new one. Yeah, at some point, if you got it that far apart, you might as well. That'd be the perfect time. Y'all take care. We will see you tomorrow with another one popped it. David Tharp. I'm confused. At the art gallery, they said it was okay if I took a picture. Then why did they arrest me when I walked out with a Van Gogh? Now that, I don't know. That to me sounds like a double talk or double standard or something. I mean, that's just stupid. I don't know why they would do that. That makes no sense at all. I'll see you tomorrow.